So it is 4 p.m., February 10th, 2021. And so I'm going to call the meeting to order. So I'm going to need a mover and a seconder for the motion to convene. So do we have a mover, please? Stuart is our mover, and
I don't know where Greg is.
Oh, did he disappear? He was here a second ago.
I know he was here.
I'm here.
Greg, you are there. So are you the seconder for the resolution to convene?
I am.
Thank you very much. Seconder is Greg Getty. That the Committee of Adjustment for the Corporation of the Township of Seguin hereby convenes at 4 p.m. on Wednesday, February 10th, 2021. All in favor? The motion is carried. The Committee of Adjustment hereby convenes a public meeting as per the Planning Act. Applicants and the public can speak at the public meeting. Notice of the decisions will be sent to applicants and to the public if requested. Any person may appeal a decision or condition of approval within 20 days after the notice of the decision. Now I'm going to require a mover and a seconder for the resolution to accept the agenda for today's meeting. So do I have a mover, please? Greg Getty is the mover. And do I have a seconder? Stuart Coxhead is our seconder. That the Committee of Adjustment for the Corporation of the Township of Seguin hereby approves the agenda for the February 10th, 2021. And do we have any comments or do we have any questions from our Committee of Adjustment members?
No, none.
In that case, all in favor? The motion is carried. Now I'm going to require a mover and seconder for the resolution to accept the minutes of our previous meeting. And that was January the 13th, 2021. So can I have a mover, please? Stuart is the mover. And the seconder, Greg, that was you. Thank you very much. That the Committee of Adjustment for the Corporation of the Township of Seguin hereby accepts as read. And, oh, I didn't read that resolution, did I?
That's okay.
That's okay. Okay. Accepts as read and circulated as the minutes of the last hearing that took place Wednesday, January the 13th, 2020, Do we have any comments or corrections from anyone in our committee? And no, so therefore, all in favor? Fine, the motion is carried. I now ask the Committee of Adjustment for any disclosures of any pecuniary interests with respects to today's applications. Do we have anyone making any of those disclosures? No, we do not. So no one has anything to declare. Okay. I now ask the Secretary Treasurer to introduce the first application.
Thank you, Madam Chair. To the rest of the committee, we're dealing with an application number A202007-H, and it's located at 220 Hammer Bay Road. The variance request is to construct a new two-car garage, and they're requesting a variance for maximum lot coverage. Correspondence was received in support of the application by two neighbors, the Hayhos and the Churchmen. Thank you.
Does anyone in attendance wish to speak to this application? And if so, please identify yourself.
Madam Chair, William Hicks, the agent for and the architect for the McCulloughs, here today to really answer any questions. My clients are here, as well as Hugh Smith, who's building it for us. We are building a new cottage, and we decided that we'd like to add a garage to that as opposed to building it as a separate structure. And it's taken us over the allowable coverage from 7.25% to 8%. Read planning's comments. They appear to be satisfied with the application, and certainly the neighbors are in support of it. And I'd be happy to answer any questions if the members of the committee have any for me. So,
do we have any questions?
I have none.
Go ahead, please, Stuart.
No, I don't have any.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. So we have no questions? Okay, and is there anyone else in attendance to speak to this particular application? No, just Mr. William Hicks. Okay. And the committee does not have any questions at all. So I require a mover and a seconder for the resolution to approve this resolution. Who's our mover? Greg Getty is our mover. And the seconder is Stuart. Okay. And I shall read this resolution. That the Committee of Adjustment hereby approves variance application A 2020-0037-H McCullough to construct a new two-car garage attached to the dwelling, and requests the following variances to zoning bylaw 2006-125. Required proposed variance section 6.3, table 6.3, maximum lot coverage required 7.25%, and the proposed 8%, and the variance 0.75%. The 8% also includes an existing shed and treehouse, and it's subject to the following conditions. Number one, that the owner acknowledges that notwithstanding the issuance of the decision to approve this minor variance, any alteration of the shoreline, including the conduct of any work in furtherance of the development, shall be conducted in accordance with any federal or provincial laws or municipal bylaws affecting or regulating the shoreline area, including, without limitation, bylaws 2008-103, 2008-0104, and 2008-105, and any amendments thereto. Number two, the owner agrees that the topography and vegetation between the dwelling, garage, and shoreline area shall be retained in the existing state, safe, and except for maintenance of any pathways to the waterfront area and the removal of dead and dying trees that may present a hazard. Number three, that the owner applies for and obtains a building permit within 2 years of the date of decision of the Committee of Adjustment. And are there any further questions or comments on this resolution? No? Okay. Is everyone in favor? Please vote. Right. Okay, the motion is carried. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members. Have a good afternoon.
So you'll be receiving the notice of the decision shortly in the mail. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I now ask our Secretary Treasurer to introduce the second application.
Thank you, Madam Chair. To the rest of the committee, application number A2020-001F BD. I believe that might be 2001. Let me check. Yeah, it should actually, the script should actually read A-2021-001F for BD. It's located at 143 Rose Point Road, and it is to construct a new garage and requires a variance to the maximum building height and rear yard setback. No correspondence was received.
Does anyone in attendance wish to speak to this application? Do we have anyone here today? I don't think so.
I'm here today.
I'm sorry.
Madam Chair. I have nothing to say. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. The application and the review by the planning department seems fairly straightforward as well. So unless committee members have a question, I have nothing else to add.
Thank you, Mr. Beatty. Do we have any questions from our committee? No questions. I need a mover and a seconder for the resolution to approve this application. Who is the mover, please? Stuart. And the seconder?
Yes.
Greg Getty. Thank you very much, Greg. And I shall read the resolution. That the Committee of Adjustment hereby approves variance application. And please let me know if this is the correct identification. A-2021-0001-F BD to construct a new garage and request the following variances of zoning bylaw 2006-125. Bylaw required proposed variance maximum building height 2.44 meters, existing 3.6 meters, 1.2 meters, section 6.3, table 6.2, rear yard setback 10 meters, 7 meters, 3 meters, and subject to the following conditions. Number 1, that the owner acknowledges that notwithstanding the issuance of the decision to approve this minor variance, any alterations of the shoreline, including the conduct of any work in furtherance of this development, shall be conducted in accordance with any federal and provincial laws or municipal bylaw affecting or regulating the shoreline area, including without limitation bylaws 2008-103, 2008-0104, and 2008-105, and any amendments thereto. Number 2, the owner agrees that the topography and vegetation between the dwelling, garage, and the shoreline area shall be retained in its existing state, save and except for maintenance of any pathways to the waterfront area and removal of the dead and dying trees that may present hazard. And number 3, the owner applies for and obtains a building permit within 2 years of the dated decision of the Committee of Adjustment. And do we have any further questions and comments regarding this resolution? No, we do not. All in favor, please vote. The motion is carried.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair and committee members. I'll leave.
Thank you, Mr. Beatty. I now ask the Secretary Treasurer to introduce the third application, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This application is A2021-002H, and it's cited at 27 Morgan Bay Road. The variance request is to construct a new bunkie shed and screened-in porch area, and requires variance to the maximum lot coverage within 60 meters, as well as the maximum lot coverage for the total lot. No correspondence was received. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anyone in attendance wish to speak to the application? And if so, identify yourself. Do we have anyone?
Good afternoon, Madam Chair. It's John Jackson. I've seen the correspondence from staff report. It is straightforward. It's a small exception to allow for regularization of a deck area on the existing dwelling, and to allow for detached, small detached buildings in the rear of the property. So if there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. I have the contractor, Ben from Eco North as well if there are questions. So thank you very much.
Does the committee have any questions? No questions? In that case, I require a mover seconder for the resolution to approve this application. Do we have a mover, please? Remember, Greg Getty, and the seconder, Stuart. Are you there, Stuart?
Yep.
Thank you very much. You are the seconder. And I shall read this resolution. That the Committee of Adjustment hereby approves variance application A-2020-0002-H Jacobson to construct a new bunkie, shed, and screened porch area, and requests the following variances to zoning bylaw 2006-125. Required proposed variance section 6.3, table 6.3, maximum lot coverage within 60 meters, 284.1 meters squared, 7.5%, 295.8 meters squared, 7.8%, 11.7 meters squared, 0.3%, and the section 6.3 in table 6.3, the maximum lot coverage 388.4 meters squared, 7.5%, 410.25 meters squared, 7.9%, 21.8 meters squared, 0.4%, subject to the following conditions. Number one, that the owner acknowledges that notwithstanding the issuance of the decision to approve this minor variance, any altercation of the shoreline, including the conduct of any work in furtherance of the development, shall be conducted in accordance with any federal and provincial laws or municipal bylaw affecting or regulating the shoreline area, including without limitation bylaw 2008-103, 2008-0104, and 2008-105, and any amendments thereto. And number two, the owner agrees that the topography and vegetation between the dwelling, garage, and the shoreline area shall be retained in existing state, and except by maintenance of any pathways to the waterfront area and removal of dead and dying trees that may present a hazard. Number three, that the owner applies for and obtains a building permit within 2 years of the date of the decision of the Committee of Adjustment. Are there any further questions or comments regarding the resolution? There are none. All in favor, please vote. The motion is carried.
Thank you.
And you'll receive a notice of the decision in a couple of days.
Thanks, Stephen.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. So I do require a mover and seconder for the resolution to adjourn, but did anyone have any comments they wish to make before we did the adjournment?
So sorry, go ahead.
Are we going to be busy next month or is it all quiet?
No, I think we got 4 or 5 already in the queue.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've been running ragged here. There's a lot of things going on. So it's exciting. It's going to be a good year.
Thank you.
Yeah. The one thing I will add is just, you'll notice the 2 conditions that we're reading now that deal with the shoreline. And the effort there is really just to ensure that people are aware of the shoreline, and it'll lessen how many site plan applications we have to go through by using those as conditions, that wording. So that's the logic behind those 2. They are a bit wordy because our friend Ed, our solicitor, likes words, and so that's why they're as long as they are, but they serve to protect the shoreline, and that's what we're hoping for. So
Well, lawyers are paid by the word, aren't they?
yes, that's right.
So these will permanently show up anytime we're dealing with an application on a shoreline. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Thank you very much. So does anyone have anything else they wish to comment on or speak about with regards before we do our resolution to adjourn? And nobody else, and therefore I need a mover to adjourn. Stuart is the mover, and the seconder is Greg. Thank you very much. That the Committee of Adjustment for the Corporation of the Township of Seguin does hereby adjourn this hearing at 4:20 p.m. on Wednesday, February 10th, 2021. The committee hold its next meeting at 4 p.m. on Wednesday, March the 10th, 2021, or at the call of the chair, unless the Secretary Treasurer has not received any complete application for committees to consider. And of course, we know you've already got applications, so we'll be meeting again on March 10th. Does everyone agree with that? Okay, the motion is passed.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and the rest of the committee.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.
Yeah.
Take care.
Bye.